So this is about as high as I want to make it. I'll put a dot right there. And now I need to go back to the right vanishing point for that. It's about right there. So I'll connect up right there with my 3-point form here, my vertical coming up. And I should raise this vertical up a little higher. Now from here we go back to the left vanishing point. Here. Here's my convergence line, and they don't meet yet, so I still need to bring them up right to there. And now from this point, I go back to the right vanishing point here. So we have direction that way, and then from this corner, back right, we go back to the left. This is basically a 2-point procedure at this point. And we go and connect here. All right, so let me draw that in a little darker so you see it. Here, and there, and there. So what this lesson teaches you, again, is discipline, structure with respect to forms, visualizing three-dimensional forms. For instance, we could draw this vertical connecting right here up, and so now we have a 6-sided form, which is true in perspective in that sense as well. So we have a 6-sided building. So it teaches you a lot about visualizing space and distance. So we have some nice verticals coming up with this form. We'll come over here. We'll make another building. I'll make this a little shorter so we don't block out an entire part. But we do want some overlap. So from the vertical vanishing point to this point here, I'll go about that high. And I'll put a dot there. We're going to go right and left. So hopefully you should be able to get this down by now. So here, from the vertical vanishing point through the right corner of our building here, up and over, okay? And I'll go through this point vertically, or no, I could go here. So there's my side, through here, back to the right vanishing point. You can always stop the video, draw, and then restart it as per your needs. It's a great thing about video lectures is that you can stop as to your needs. So, from the vertical vanishing point through this point up, there's the right side of my building. And now to finish this building out, I go from the right back corner to the left, and from the left back corner to the right. So do that reverse procedure. So here, and then here. There we go. Okay. So the thing about teaching drawing and design and painting, it's a real show over tell. I mean, you can talk about it, but showing it is even better too. So here's the bottom of that there. And let's thrust our building up here. So I'm also playing with visual design, or thinking about visual design, and what verticals come up, how high, how that looks. So I'll put this building about this high. There's my side, so I'll put a dot there. Now I need to go back to the left vanishing point. Here to here, back. I come up through this vertical. You have to be a detective through here. Coming up. And there's my left plane for my building. This is nice. I get a little sliver of this building through here. I like that. So from this point, I'll go back to the right vanishing point. Here, and from this point, I'll go back to the right vanishing point. Kind of a convergence line already meets it, so it's done for me, which is nice. It's always nice. So I've got this bottom part of the box where it meets the vertical vanishing point up to here, and I trace over, and all that's left is the top of the building from the right corner back to the left vanishing point here to there. And now we have another building. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll have 7 coming up. So you have a minimum of 20 to do in this lesson. At least 20, if not more. So we have here, I might make this one now taller just to have a nice visual effect. How tall? I don't know. We know you can't go taller than the horizon line, so we don't want that. So from the vertical vanishing point, convert this line through this point, I'll come up higher. So probably at least this high. That's pretty high. That'll be nice and high. So it'll crop out some of our park, which we want for visual effect. That'll be good. Okay, so from here, back to the right vanishing point, the vertical of my building, here, and also back to the left vanishing point, here to here. Draw my convergence lines, and you can tell I'm shorthanding after a while, and that's fine as long as you're using your ruler and you're lining up later on. I don't mind that. I wasn't taught that way, but I'll let you shorthand a little bit later on. Make sure you're lining up your ruler. So from the vertical vanishing point through the back left corner up, and where it meets the side of the plane of the building here. Here we go. So here's our building through there. That's our left plane. So notice how they're spreading out and they're becoming that concave, convexness that you're going to get, just like we talked about here. So this building is really kind of doing that so far right about now. And it's going to just keep spreading out. And that is natural and okay to three-point perspective. Let it happen. It's okay. It might look a little unnatural, but that's all right. Now, from the vertical vanishing point through this point here, we go up and all the way to our convergence line here. And I put a dot there for the end of our building. And now from right to left and left to right, we connect up our top of our building here and here. There we go. And over. Okay. And there's the top of our next building right there. All right. So let's keep going a little bit further now. Let's start to actually, I'll put a few over here so you'll see it on the other side of the park. So most of the park will be, you know, a clearing with walk paths and forests and trees and things. But you'll have to have some space over through here where we can walk around or get back to buildings over here. So let's start to put a few over here. Now, you know, perceptually, we want to make our buildings, the thicknesses and widths of our bottom start to get a little smaller as they go back in space. Now, you can project these depths over. And so if I wanted to put the same size building, I could project it here and then project it over, and that would be the same size. That's way too long. That would take hours and hours of lessons. So we won't do that. Just visually, we want to make sure that these get a little smaller than here. Just keep that in mind, because these buildings are obviously further away in perception and perspective than they are here. All right, so we'll put our first little building maybe along here, along one grid. I just picked a convergence line. Let's put a bottom. That's going to look like that. And so come back to the left vanishing point, and then go back to the right vanishing point so I can finish my drawing out like so. Okay, so we'll put one here. And then I'll put one over here a little bit on that grid, make it a little bit bigger. And they can look close to decent size, but they want to be a little bit smaller, maybe a little longer. So about that length in size. And then I have to go back, of course, to the left vanishing point here. And I'll just flick a line out there. Same thing to the right vanishing point. You should be getting hopefully more comfortable with it to see it. If you can't see the procedure, it's going to make it obviously more difficult. And that's what this is about, to be able to see it. Okay. Now over here, I'm going to make an L-shaped building, just for variety and effect now. So it will start out this way and have this kind of feel. But it will wind up, the bottom will wind up looking like this to that, over here, and like that, and then we can start to bring up our verticals after that. So, let me go a little bit further here to that point, and then we'll go back, use the right vanishing point, and get a line pretty far away there. There it goes, it lines up. So through here, and to get to that angle, it's about right there. So it's going to look like that. Okay? Then we go back to the left vanishing point. Here's I'm just thrusting a line out. I really should be using red, but I'll finish it out in green for now. And then I'm just going to use this angle, this convergence line. I'll bring it over so you can see it better. Here, all the way over. And that's going to be where I'm going to end this depth of my building. And then right there where I'll end the L shape there. So there, here, and there. And so now I've got my L shape. I think the shape of this lake looks awful. Simplify it maybe a little bit, maybe over here. There we go. Later on. Make it a little nicer there. Okay. All right, great. So let's start working on this one. Let's bring up the verticals of this one. It'll come up. We'll bring all of them up. We'll have to bring every one of the sides up first so we get a height. So now for our building here, from the vertical vanishing point,